Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. This is the third part of a three-part series where we're talking about stash players. Mike, hit the button.
Producer.
Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. He is Grindberg, I am bigz, and this is the Fantasy Football Advice Network on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new here. Do the same if you're not. I apologize. I just have to give you guys a hearty, sincere apology. I came up with a little bit for the beginning with the stash, with the little drug stash, and then with the mustache. And in the moment, I couldn't think of a third one. So the intro was lacking. I apologize. Anyway, we're talking about stash players. These are guys that you're taking in late in your redraft drafts, in your home leagues, your family leagues, your work leagues, etc. CBSSports.com, ESPN.com, Yahoo.com, NFL.com. The leagues that most people that aren't completely sick degenerates with 50 dynasty leagues and all of the charity tournaments play in and lose sleep over and are constantly bothered by notifications from. So we're talking about running backs. We talked about quarterbacks and tight ends in the first episode. We talked about wide receivers last episode. So go back and watch those videos if you missed them. My first stash running back is Kendre Miller, running back for the New Orleans Saints. Now, he came out as a rookie last year, dealt with some hamstring injuries early in the season, and he's stuck behind Alvin Kamara, the do-it-all dude in New Orleans. Well, Kamara is getting on in age a little bit. The Kendre Miller looks to establish himself. He's going to have been healthy for a full year. And they brought over a new offensive coordinator, the former passing game coordinator from the San Francisco 49ers, Clint Kubiak, who I've talked about on the show before, and loving the Saints offense. Christian McCaffrey's there, but Elijah Mitchell has gotten run in San Francisco. So it's not out of the question that a two-headed backfield is the way to go in New Orleans, in which case Kendre Miller will have some mid-level production. And if anything happens to Alvin Kamara, who's old, he could see a path to RB1 in that room. And if you grabbed him in the 14th, the 13th, the 12th round in a 0 RB build, you're gonna thank me. Speaking of handcuffs, there are 3 running backs at the top of everybody's boards: Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, and Bijan Robinson. Now, McCaffrey has the history of being the go-ahead RB1, but I don't know if he's going to do that this year. Bijan has some room to make up if he wants to get there. Breece Hall has the opportunity to be on Christian McCaffrey's level this year, but if something were to happen to him, you're going to want to have Braylon Allen as a stash, because Braylon Allen is good in his own right. If he's a spell back, first and second down, bring Breece Hall out, flip Breece Hall to third round status just for that part of the drive, whatever, Braylon Allen can get it done. He's going to be able to average 4 yards per carry in the NFL, and he's going to be a goal line threat. The dude is built. He is like not quite Derrick Henry size, but the two of them next to each other, he looks pretty good. And I'm here for it. So Braylon Allen, he's my second guy. Stash him.
I love Braylon Allen. You've convinced me on him. He was one of your top guys headed into the draft. Obviously, landing spot played a big role in his slide, but he had a lot of good metrics, and we like what we saw there with Braylon Allen. So I'm all about him too. I'm going to be picking him up, especially in leagues that I have Breece Hall in my lineup. But even if I don't have Breece Hall, he's a great guy to have in case a guy like Breece Hall does go down, because he has the opportunity to go in and not miss a step in that offense. And Another guy that could have an opportunity and not miss a step in an offense, and I'm talking about Blake Corum, and I think, he's got a promising stash in 2024. I think he's a promising stash, and if he could grow a promising one, then, it'd even be better too. But as Michigan's lead running back, Corum was a key player in their undefeated season. He totaled 1,300 yards and an impressive 28 touchdowns. Despite being smaller in size, he's known for his sharp vision, quick acceleration, and the ability to keep his balance through contact, making him one of the standout rookies at his position. While Corum may not get the same workload he did in college with Kyren Williams being in the Rams' backfield, he is still a crucial backup with significant potential. Williams handled a heavy workload last season, we all know. He averaged 21.7 touches per game, so Corum could step in and contribute if Williams' workload is managed, or heaven forbid, an injury occurs. Although he wasn't heavily involved in the passing game in college, Corum's knack for finding the end zone, evidence he scored 59 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons, makes him a valuable asset in scoring situations. He was selected in the 3rd round, which gives him better draft capital than the incumbent Kyren Williams. So Corum is expected to play a supportive role initially, but could see more opportunities. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to find those diamonds in the roughs for you folks. And I think Blake Corum could especially be valuable down the stretch here. He presents intriguing options with potential to deliver performances as the season progresses. So my number 2 guy is a guy that is in a situation as well that backfield is ambiguous. They brought in a guy like Zach Moss, but I'm talking about Chase Brown, and he emerges as a stash because he is a guy that is a handcuff option with the opportunity to play playing time early on this season. He showcased impressive efficiency metrics last year, excelling in yards after contact, missed tackles forced per attempt compared to his peers. His late season surge started from week 13, underscored his knack for big plays in rushing and receiving roles. Zach Moss is going to lead the Bengals backfield headed into the season, but Brown is poised to earn more opportunities, especially in passing situations. His skill as a receiver makes him a valuable flex option in PPR leagues. Ranked as RB 33 right now, he's a smart late round choice for fantasy managers seeking running back depth. His ability to contribute in both passing and receiving and rushing roles is an appealing option. Overall, Brown represents a calculated risk with upside, providing immediate depth and the possibility of a breakout as the season unfolds. Now, I know that
thank
this
you
number
everybody
one
for watching the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. We'll be back next week. We'll have more episodes for you and everything. Oh,
wait a minute, you bigz, cutting me short here. I never got to do my number 1. Did you get to do your number 1?
No, but
producer
Chase Brown. You had so much on Chase Brown. I thought that was your spotlight.
No. I just like Chase
okay.
Brown.
Okay. I'll get to my guy then. I love Chase Brown. Super fast. Very efficient. I don't know why they bothered to go get Zach Moss. But I guess Zach Moss has the job. I'd have just stuck with Chase Brown. All right, my spotlight. Shining my spotlight. I got another second-year guy. I like second-year guys. They got their feet wet, and now they're ready to do more. Let me get close. My spotlight is on Roschon Johnson, Chicago Bears running back. He has shown 3-down ability. They went out and they got DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is good, but I like Roschon Johnson to emerge from the backfield. Khalil Herbert isn't a threat. Roschon Johnson is an absolute stud. There were some efficiency metrics when he was at Texas with Bijan Robinson, who everybody loves Bijan. Roschon was better in some areas of his game. And they spent the draft capital on him. They're going to give him a shot at some point. If something happens to DeAndre Johnson, Roschon Johnson or DeAndre Johnson. DeAndre Johnson, DeAndre Swift. Roschon Johnson is a fantastic middle round stash player. He's gonna probably to begin the season, he's gonna tease you a little bit from your bench. He might get a touchdown vulture here or there, and you're like, maybe. Just sit and wait for a little while. Once Roschon Johnson gets his opportunity, he is a legitimate 3-down workhorse candidate, and he's going to win you some leagues. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I'm willing to stash him and take the chance.
I am willing to stash him too. I love his opportunity. When he was in the lineup last year, he was very efficient, especially in those passing down role. I know DeAndre Swift is coming in and expected to take on some of that pie, but I just don't see him as an every down back. And I think Roschon Johnson is built more for that role. So hopefully he can carve that role out for either bigz and some of my fantasy teams here later on. And
I like pie.
Me too. I like pie too. My pie here that I'm going to talk about, the guy that I'm going to talk about, he's in a backfield that has a lot of variables in it, and he's a guy that could emerge.
I think he likes pie too.
I do like pie. I'm going to talk about Audric Estimé here, folks, and the reason why I have him, circled as a stash. Despite his early concerns about his speed, Estimé's success at Notre Dame, it speaks volumes. 18 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. It showcases his potential as an NFL standout. Metrics like yards after contact and explosiveness further underscores his readiness for the pros. Drafted in the 5th round by the Broncos, Estimé's size and versatile skills positions him as a sleeper in Denver's competitive running back rotation. While we know Javonte Williams currently holds that pack and the lead for that role, Coach Sean Payton's endorsements of Estimé's competing for early down snaps adds to his fantasy appeal. With proven ability as a receiver and blocker, Estimé is a tempting late round pick or waiver wire target in dynasty leagues, offering long-term upside if he secures a prominent role in Denver's offense. And I mentioned dynasty leagues because I think he's a guy that is going to be versatile everywhere, and I think he could be a guy that you really want to keep your eye on in the latter half of this season. But even earlier in the training camps here to see how this running back room shakes out. An injury to Javonte Williams, and I think Estimé comes right in and does wonders in that position, but I think he can outright win the job with a good training camp. He's demonstrated his ability to thrive in game situations, engaged actively in team activities ahead of training camp, further underscores his readiness to contribute, boosting his confidence and his potential to impact the Broncos' offensive scheme. Audric Estimé presents a compelling case as a stash, blending college success, NFL potential, and favorable opportunity in Denver's offense. Audric Estimé, a 2024 fantasy football sleeper poised to punch above his ADP, backed by college stardom and a shot at Denver's backfield spotlight. That's what I got for you, bigz. What do you like about Audric Estimé coming out of college? I know you liked him too as a bruiser up the middle. You were high on him as well. Are you with me here? Do you think he's got a good shot at taking over that backfield eventually?
Yeah, I had him in our Campus to Canton League, and he made the successful NFL transition for me. So I already have him stashed. Thanks. Yeah, I'm high on Estimé. Basically, I talked about Braylon Allen and Audric Estimé and Blake Corum. That was basically like my top 3 in this rookie class. Jonathan Brooks sneaks in there, but those were really the four that I liked. And I do want to give an honorable mention to Kimani Vidal. We didn't talk about him, but he is in a position right now in the Chargers offense where they're looking at Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and J.K. Dobbins is not close to coming back, and Gus Edwards is an older guy. It is within the realm of possibility that Kimani Vidal comes out of training camp with that starting job as the RB1 for the Chargers. It's a new regime, and we know about Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh and how much they love the running game, and I think Kimani Vidal fits what they're looking for, some guy who is like going to hold on to the ball, not fumble, and just be a bruiser between the tackles. And that's Vidal. Like, he can do that, and he's athletic. So one of the reasons that we didn't talk about him is because he's not really a stash player. He's more of a draft guy. He's more of a guy that especially in a 0 RB build, you're gonna want to take as your RB3 at worst, right? And so he doesn't really qualify for a stash player. And especially as we get closer to the season, training camps are now underway. The rookies have reported and everything, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility that by the time we get through the next month, Kamani Vidal is a highly draftable player in your redraft leagues. So go ahead and keep your eye out for him and like steal him. We're in the Scott Fish Bowl, and the Scott Fish Bowl consists of 3,600 fantasy football players. And it's essentially a redraft league. It's a super flex. There's all kinds of different scoring rules and everything. But Kamani Vidal, like, it's upsetting people when you take him before they get a chance. And it's really upset some apple carts. So yeah, Kamani Vidal, smash him.
Yeah. Thanks for that extra little tidbit there, because all these guys are very, very stash worthy, and I love Kamani Vidal. I've talked to him in depth on this show and on other telecasts, so I'm with you there, bigz.
You guys came for 6 players. You got 7, because that's how we do it. We bring it extra.
Guess what? We're bringing extra to the fantasy football world. We're bringing our jersey leagues in. And we got some exciting jersey leagues happening at the Fantasy Football Advice Network. I've got a Tyreek Hill jersey ready to go, hot off the press, and it's going in a family league. So if you are a guardian and you have a child that you want to get exposed and co-manage a team with, and you are a plus member of Fantasy Football Advice Network, hit me up, hit my DMs up on Twitter, or find me pro member, sorry. Or find me on the Fantasy Sports Advice Network website, because that's up and running now. Our app is up and running now, so download it, folks. Get it on your smartphone. Stay up to date. Get into chats with us. We're analysts, and we're there to help you out. So I'll get to you as soon as I can if you DM me on our app. But get on there; it's an awesome thing. Shout out to Corey for putting that together, and it's really, really good stuff. bigz, what else you got for us?
Tyreek Hill could fill a family league with just his kids. I have a Josh Hines Allen Jaguars linebacker IDP league that you can enter and win an autographed Josh Allen jersey. And I also have a Deebo Samuel autographed jersey that if you want to play tight end premium and test your mettle against bigz, you can join those. DM me at BigBonedFFB on Twitter, and I will send you a link, and that link will take you to the Fantasy Football Sports Network website. As long as you're a pro member, just send me back your little thing that shows that you're subscribed, and I will put you into the league over on Sleeper. If you haven't played Sleeper yet, it can change your life. For better or worse is not my call, but it can certainly change your life. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Share it around. Watch for our shorts and everything. Don't look at my shorts, but watch our shorts. And thank you guys on behalf of everybody at Fantasy Football Sports Network and the Fantasy Forecast. And I'm talking about you, Shoe Onesie. We hope you win.
Hope you win. Peace out.
Bye.